Start off with the champion, Tom Aspinall. Tom, you said in the past, after the Sergey Pavlovich fight, you were asked, you said, is Ciryl Gane the next challenger for you? And you said, no, he's going to have to wait. He needs another fight. He doesn't deserve it. He needs to fight Jailton Almeida. He went out. He got the win against Volkov. So now that he's sitting across from you, do you believe that he deserves the title shot right now?
I mean, there was nobody else to fight. I'll just Ciryl, you just do your thing, man. You just do your thing. I'll just chill.
And question for Ciryl Gane. Ciryl, Tom said in multiple interviews in the past, he wants somebody to take him into deep waters in the UFC because he wants to know if he can swim. Obviously, he's never been past the second round. Why are you the guy that's going to be able to drag Tom Aspinall into deep waters? And more importantly, how do you think he's going to react once he gets there?
To be honest, I think Tom has the answer already. He knows I'm a little bit of a different fighter in the division, but I fight in a different way, but I'm sure that Tom will be able to come up with an answer if he's thrown to it. We'll just have to see when the fight happens.
And question for Ciryl. It's your third opportunity to fight for the undisputed title, and you're against Tom Aspinall, who we know trains all the time. He lives, breathes MMA. How invested are you, and how much did you train for this fight, and if more than before?
Well, as you know, my last fight was back in December. Then during the months of January and February, I was resting a little bit. I had a bit of time away through an injury, recovering from that. But since March, I've really been training, giving it my all. I've not been playing PlayStation or going to the Champions League, watching other events like, you know, some of the others. I've been really training. So I'm concentrated. I think everyone's been able to see that. It's been probably one of the best camps in my career, and obviously I'm ready to get the job done this time around.
And oh, sorry. And a question for Tom Aspinall. Of course, the easy thing would be to, I guess, for you, try to take Ciryl to the ground and try to work from there. Is it obviously going to be the game plan, or are you going to try to strike with Ciryl?
No, I think that if I hit anybody, I can knock anybody out. And I think that Ciryl is no exception, but obviously there are some weaknesses in his ground game that we've seen, but I'm sure he's improved. Do you know what I mean? This is an MMA fight, it can go anywhere, so I'm sure we'll both be ready for anything.
The question is simple. Do you consider Tom Aspinall as your biggest test right now?
You know, Tom's the defending champion. He's really the man to beat at the moment. However, he's also an all-round fighter. He's never fought someone like me, though. I bring something very different. I've got my own very particular style. So I think that's something that he's going to have to contend with.
Question for Ciryl. You've been criticized a lot about your ground game since the last title fight. Can you tell us about your adjustment you've made on this level?
You know, sometimes life is a little bit strange because some bad results and then people think that you've never worked on your ground game, on your grappling. But believe me, as someone who's come from Thai boxing as well, I've got a team behind me by my coach, Fernand Lopez. We've worked on our ground game. These are experts. We know exactly what we're doing. Sometimes I've not been able to show it, and that's on me. But this time, believe me, I've been working, and hopefully I can show it this time around.
Emil Sardarian from Stand 'em Up. I got a question for Tom Aspinall. Tom.
One question.
Obviously, you've defended your interim title once already. Do you feel like this is your second title defense, or is the interim belt and the actual belt different for you?
To be honest, I don't really care about belts and stuff. I just care about my next fight. Cyryl's my next fight. He's the guy I'm focused on. This fight's been simmering for a long time, do you know what I mean? We both got in the UFC around the same time. We've been talking about this fight for a long time, so I'm just ready to fight this guy already and take him out.
You've been training a lot with Rico Verhoeven, a long-standing champion. You've said that you've been picking his mind a lot, right? And what have you been able to take away from him, from a guy that has been champion for over 10 years?
Yeah, me and Rico have been training together for a long time. Rico's actually coming to England next week to help me prepare for this. Rico's the best kickboxer ever. So when I'm fighting another guy with a heavy kickboxing style, of course, I need to do that. But you know, this is an MMA fight. He's got a good team. He's been working on his ground game, like you just said. I appreciate that. I see that. And I've got to be ready for everything. But when we're talking about Rico, Rico's the best to ever kickbox, and he's helping me. So I always appreciate that, of course.
Simon Deditata for Fight for Yours. Question for Tom Aspinall. People have been speaking about this fight for quite a while, even before the John Jones saga. And it's always been painted as the evolution of the heavyweight division. Now you're much more of a favorite, and you're seen as much more of a favorite. Do you see any difference in the matchup compared to maybe a couple years ago when people started talking about it?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is we're both better. We're both better now than we were a few years ago. We both have a lot more experience. You know, Cyryl's had 2 title shots already. I defended the interim title, and now hold the undisputed title. So I think this fight's going to be better, and I think it's pretty rare that you see any guys of our size that move like we do. So I think this is really like the new age of the heavyweights, and people are really going to start to see the difference now between guys like us and guys 10 years ago.
Musa from Boxmag. First question for Tom. You were the hunter before, now you're the prey. Ciryl Gane looking for the belt. How do you feel about the change of dynamic?
I've always wanted to fight anybody. It never really bothered me who I fought. I always wanted to fight with the guy with the belt. Now I've got the belt, now guys are going to start coming after me, which is great because I've never been picky who I fight. I wanted to fight Ciryl for a long time, and the fight's finally happening, and I'm happy with it.
Question for Tom Aspinall. You said you don't really care about the belts, you really want to prove you're the best. Is there any other fighter in the heavyweight division that you feel you need to beat to prove that you are the best, other than Ciryl Gane?
Yeah, there's lots of guys, man, but I'm the kind of guy who doesn't look past my opponent. I'm very, very serious about this fight. I've been training for the last year without a break. I've had absolutely no breaks. I'm much better now than I was in my last fight, and I want to show that. But as far as other heavyweights and stuff, right now that doesn't really interest me.
It was the same question for Ciryl, and to be honest, I don't really understand the point of not wanting to fight against the best, because if you have the belt, then you are the best. So I don't really understand that logic in terms of the answer. I'm going for the belt to be the best.
All right, that's it for the questions. I'm sure you all agree it's going to be a tremendous fight. Let's get this stuff out of here, and let's get these guys squared off. Thank you.